Hello everyone, welcome to Rizzo Rink for the early game on this Monday night. Game 1 of this Monday night doubleheader between the Outlaws and the Revolution. I'm Caden Stewart, I'll be on the mic with you for both games today. As the officials ready to go at the middle of the floor, both teams now in their pregame huddles getting ready. Coming into the regular season, this could be a battle for one of the final 2 playoff spots. Maybe final 3 with the way the season has seemed to even out. It appears to be just about anyone's chance at championship this year in the PBLA. Those playoffs and championship games obviously coming on later in August, so plenty of time for teams to move up and down in the standings, but this one with clear playoff implications. So considering it is not the hottest place on the planet this week, we will have 3 15-minute periods as per usual, not shortened due to weather. It'll be the veteran Will Main in the main circle for the Outlaws. He'll take on guy number 4 for the Revolution, Richard Nelson. Both sides ready to go. Nelson versus Main in the main circle, and Will Main will win the opening draw, taking it into the far corner. First pass is a give to Malesio. And now a shot to Downey, they score. Just a few seconds in, and George Downey from the top of the far circle makes it 1-0 Outlaws on the quick pass. The Outlaws strike 20 seconds in. The assist comes from number 66, Jeff Gonzalez. Ensuing face-off again, Mayen knocking it off the boards, fighting for it but lost possession, and trying to get it with Richard Nelson for the Revolution. He could not. Now Downey's back on it. Downey pressured into the corner and now has it. Clean possession for the Outlaws. Shot clock down to 20. Downey behind the net, thought about wrapping around, but does not test Sid Johansson, the starter for the Revolution. Still holding it though, and it appears he took too many steps, as the most recent one coming in the paint. Increased violation against the Outlaws, back the other way of the Revolution. Ryan Carruthers, the team's leading scorer, with his first shot attempt of the day. It's sent wide, the ricochet played back by Johansson. Given to Carruthers. Shot clock down to 10. Carruthers out to the far side of the floor, now cutting in and firing a shot wide of Matt Kuhn. The rebound came out to Carruthers. Shot clock to 3 to 2. Pass to the middle is sent wide. And it's a violation against the Revolution. Outlaw ball with Gonzalez. Cutting through the defense. A shot and saved by Johansson, his first of the day. Gonzalez was in physical defense here. He's going to get his team the ball right back. Scooping it up was Dylan Poole. And Poole and Gonzalez team up for the turnover. Downey again hovering around the blue line. He's taken a few farther shots in the last few games. That one a little bit more off target than his previous one. He scored a goal from the same area just a few minutes ago. Still is the only one in the game, 2.5 minutes in. Poole fires one in, looking for the veteran Stainer, who has it by the scorer's table. Shot clock to 3. Stainer running out of time, behind the back, centering feed, but nobody home in front of Sid Johansson. And the Revolution will bring it up across the midline once more. Jeffrey Vetter in the main circle, drifting over near us. Vetter's next pass goes to Tyler Falco. Falco between the circles, now a shot sent wide, rebound off the stick of Butkus. And all the way back down by Johansson. Shot clock to 6 to 5. Johansson hesitates, now launches the length of the floor, and caught in midair by Matt Kuhn. Back to the Outlaws. No violation horn needed. Poole by the Mark Squilla sign in the corner. Goes up top. Downey with Stainer nearby. Same with Gonzalez. He goes to Gonzalez. Gonzalez to the near side. Shot sent wide to Johansson. Played off the glass by Gonzalez. Now off his stick. All the way back down to Matt Kuhn. Shot clock to 2, and a buzzer beater attempt is intercepted. And that's butt kiss for the Revolution. And a bucket gives to Vedder. The Revolution has some legs. A shot and saved by Matt Kuhn. Off the netting behind them. And out of play, a last touch by the Outlaw goaltender. George Downey takes it across the middle of the floor. Downey with a pass in. And was trying to find Alessio, but couldn't quite get it to his target. Ian Hagen has it around the midline, and Hagen, the pass to line up off the stick of the captain, Brandon Reese. And now Reese gives to Vedder, the shot clock halfway through. Vedder just inside the blue line, trying to spin out away from his man. That's Poole. Now Vedder creating space, fires a shot, sent wide of Kuhn. Rebound played by Poole, and Poole has some speed. Poole all the way in, 1-on-none, shot saved, Johansson. Rebound off the back netting, last touch Johansson. It'll be a fresh 30 for the Outlaws. One bounce pass played off the chest pad of Downey. Now Caden Hawk subbing on between Downey and Gonzalez. Gonzalez now with the ball in front of the Revolution bench. Gonzalez looking in for Stainer, but an over-the-shoulder pass attempt. Couldn't quite get there. Stainer fired a shot that was off target. The rebound's all the way back down by Matt Kuhn. Gonzalez, shot clock to 3, gets around his man, a chance, and he lost the ball. Violation against the Outlaws. Buzzer beater attempt comes up empty for the team in blue and black. Now Revolution ball, 9.5 to play in the opening frame. Richard Nelson between the circles, now backs up. Nelson threads the needle, hits up Carruthers. Carruthers took a stick up high, no call. Ruled a clean hit. Now pass in for Nelson. Nelson pickpocketed, lost the ball. Mayon's in the area. It's shuffled at and pushed to the stick of Matt Kuhn. And now we'll have a penalty issued, and this looks like it'll be against the Outlaws. It'll be a 2-minute minor for holding against Will Mayen. Five on 4 for the Revolution for the next now minute 44. A chance to tie the game in the early goings. Quick shot on goal. It's saved by Matt Kuhn. On target look by the Revolution offense. Poole up along the far side of the boards. Poole behind the net. Alessio diving attempt, and it found the back of the net, but he's hit from the crease, so it's waved off. So Johansson gets away with one there. Would have been a man down goal by Alessio. For the Revolution, though, for the next minute 7. And their next shot again sent wide, and playing it all the way off the far boards, Tyler Falco. Shot clock to 10. Falco with some hustle, winds up, fires a shot, he scores! Tyler Falco does it himself. He brings it across the midline and fires from the blue line to make it 1-1. We'll have one half of this first period of play when we're back up to the 1-1 score as Falco. Goal by Downey. Just over halfway through this first period, off the draw, Mayen dishes for Caden Hawk. Hawk to Downey. Downey gives to Stainer. Stainer directing traffic and sends Alessio in toward the net. Instead gives to Mayen. And now pass back for Gonzalez off his stick. Gonzalez push, keeps his balance in the back floor. Now Mayen winds up, gets a shot on target, saved by Johansson. A good shot by Mayen to get her first 30 seconds, but quickly turned away. Subbing on for the first time today, Tanner Mearns. Mearns wearing number 15 for the Revolution. Bringing up along the far side of the boards, Carruthers. Pass wide of him, and he'll play it off his own team's bench. Shot clock went to 3, now 1, and Mearns with the horn. Couldn't get it off in time, but been just offline. Had it beat the buzzer. Poole will have it for the line on the far side. Poole up the floor, Stainer now gives to Hawk. Hawk in the near circle behind the net, and Hawk sent out wide. Played off the board to the Revolution. Now they couldn't bring it in. Downey had the ball knocked out of the stick during the shot. It didn't touch anything out of play though, so it stays in. Downey lost the ball again. Now here comes the Revolution the other way in a 3-on-2. Vetter tied up, diving attempt, saved by Matt Kuhn. Rebound in front, another save by the outlaw goaltender. Back-to-back great save to the outlaw goalie to keep the game even at 1 apiece. Poole the other way, hits up Stainer. Stainer trying to shake off his man, lost the ball in the process. And it wound up in the stick of Johansson. Whistles all sound and stop play, and the officials will talk about it. Looks like another penalty will be issued. Number 27, Bailey or Hosky of the Revolution getting called for the cross check. It's a 2-minute penalty. 5-on-4 for the Outlaws for the next 2 minutes. Malesio pressured up against the boards. And now regains his balance just before crossing the midline. Malesio gives to Downey, who scores. 2 goals in the outing for George Downey, and both teams have now scored on the man up. It's 2-1 with under 5 to play. Off the ensuing face-off, the ball is sent out of play off the scoreboard area and will go behind the wall on that far side of the floor. Stainer scoops it up, now gives over the shoulder behind the back, looking for Malesio. Malesio's shot saved by Johansson. Here come the Revolution the other way with plenty of hands. Orhosky dishes a shot, and again saved by Matt Kuhn. Correction on the Outlaw goaltender. It's Kieran Clark getting the start today for the Outlaws. So Clark with the save on the shot from Orhosky. Now Gonzalez and Stainer in the corner. Stainer up the floor, and he finds George Downey. Downey with a shot and saved by Johansson. Revolution ball the other way. Carruthers will scoop it up on a hop. Carruthers waiting for some space to facilitate. Now he will driving in. Carruthers got it by his man, but just saved by Kieran Clark again. And now Clark will scoop up a second diving effort by Carruthers. 2 saves in the outlaw goaltender. 2-1, the lead remains. Stainer from the blue line. In front, Downey with one on goal, looking for a first period hat trick. He won't get it at that time. And the ricochet is all the way back into the far corner. Centering feed to the middle, picked up, shot, they score! Tie game as Andrew Butkiss, off one hop, just barely beats the stick of the outlaw defender Ian Bittenbender, and it's now 2-2. the draw. 2 defenders on him. He's forced to pop off the ball. And now 3-on-3 in the offensive zone for the Revolution. A shot attempt. Another save by Clark, who was caught in the pads momentarily. And now Pride out. Puts a chance for the Revolution turned away. Diving attempt, and they score. Another answer for the Outlaws, and it's now 3-2. Jumping in front of the net. And getting his 3rd goal of the first period was George Downey. It's a first frame hat trick for number 96 of the Outlaws, and it's 3-2. So another answer for the Outlaw offense, and now the final minute of play in this first period. 3-2, they lead. They can add to it to have control off the faceoff. Stainer with the pass back to and fro from Alessio. Alessio a shot, he scores. Back-to-back shots go through, and Philip Alessio makes it 4-2 Outlaws. Violation off the faceoff of the Revolution. It's Outlaw ball, and they score again. 3 goals in 1 minute right off the draw. And this one finds the back of the net off the stick of Will Mayen. And Mayen trying to race to the line to get one more, but he won't be able to. So in the final minute 22, the Outlaws get 3. And it's now a 5-2 for the team in blue. Through 15 minutes of play here at Rizzo Rink in the early game on this Monday night. And after 3 goals in an 82-second span to end the first frame, it is a 5-2 Outlaw lead over the Revolution. The Revolution, though, will have control off the draw. Falco driving in, wanted his second, but he stepped in the crease, got a little bit too aggressive there on Kieran Clark. Bittenbender in between the main line and the blue line. Bittenbender gives to Gonzalez. Gonzalez calling his defender further. And had his shot deflected, picked up by Butkus, who wants his second goal of the day as well. Butkus dished it out and tried to hit Bailey Orhosky, and he couldn't bring it in. Orhosky had the ball knocked loose, played by Malesio. Malesio streaking in, jumps in front, and saved on Downey by Sid Johansson, and Downey was inches away from his 4th of the day. Jeff Gonzalez off the pass from Hawk through the main circle. Hawk centering feed and is behind the back of his intended target. Played off the wall by Poole. Poole over from Alessio. Alessio's shot didn't fall. Revolution have possession now. Andrew Trainer behind the net. Trainer up the floor, hits Ian Hagen, and Hagen's pass is sent wide of the net. And wide of his target as well, out of play. Downey with the ball for the outlaw offense. Downey to Gonzalez on his near side. Gonzalez directing traffic, tried to find Mayen in the middle, but Mayen couldn't bring it in. Picked up instead and shot on goal by Bittenbender, but deflected and sent wide. Downey's back on it though, and there's a fresh now 25 seconds. They now reset. Fresh full clock for Downey. Plenty of time to work with. Has a man in front. Now driving in. Shot and saved by Johansson, and it winds up going off the ceiling out of the play. Fresh 30 though. Gonzalez again in the main circle. Gives to Downey. Downey with a pick set. In front. Makes a man miss. Shot on goal and saved Johansson. Caught in the pads. The two great scoring chances for Downey turned away in the last few minutes. In the first few minutes of the second period. Still with 3 goals already on the day, though. Here's Tyler Falco. Falco driving in, and a shot saved at the leg pad of Clark. Redirection is now for Roman Catholic sign. Butkus picks it up through the blue line. Butkus gives to Falco. Falco between the circles. Driving in, trying to get by Downey. He does, he shoots, he scores. Tyler Falco drives past George Downey, and he gets his second goal of the day. It's 5-3. Off the draw, Mayen with an aggressive play at it, but couldn't bring it in. He wants a penalty, didn't get the call. Instead, Poole gives to Stainer. Stainer with Alessio in front of him, now driving in toward the net, gives to Downey the hot hand, and it's shot rattled to the face mask of Sid Johansson. Deflected wide off the netting, so it'll stay with the Outlaws. Shot clock will reset now. It does. Jeff Gonzalez again on the outskirts of the main circle. Gonzalez gets by Stainer, a one-hop shot. It was off the leg pad of Johansson, scooped up by the Revolution goaltender. Johansson passed through the middle and tried to find Brandon Reese, who now brings it in. Reese went to Jaden Cox, and Cox to Richard Nelson. Nelson in the corner. And pass shot high at Bailey Orhosky. Ricochet played off the boards. Andrew Trainer with possession. Trainer to the middle, a shot wide by Vetter. Rebound is off an Outlaw. Loose in front of the net. And cleared away for the moment, out of harm's way, but Vetter is back on it. Vetter's shot saved again by Clark, and now the rebound's back out. Clark again on a save. And a deflection violation against the Revolution. And it's back to Outlaw ball as Kieran and Clark stand strong twice in the possession. 9:20 to play in the second. 5-3 lead for the Outlaws. back underway coming out of the Outlaw timeout. It's about 9:15 now, a little less to play in the second period. 5-3 lead for the Outlaws. Bittenbender has it at the blue line. Bittenbender up the floor. Downey just couldn't get it in. Malessio over the top, and slamming the door was Johansson. Downey wants to get back on it. He cannot. Picked up by the Revolution. Vetter is back the other way. Jeffrey Vetter gives Mearns a shot sent wide. Rebounds played by Gonzalez, waiting for Bittenbender to get some space. Now he doesn't get a shot. Saved Johansson. The rebound came out past Bittenbender. He's again fighting for the loose ball. Couldn't click it on it though. Mayans in the area. Instead, it's the Revolution back the other way. One hop shot saved by Clark and came off the stick of Nelson. Nelson to the middle and tied up was Orhosky. Picked up by Caden Hawk. Whistle sounds though for a delayed call against the Outlaws. Two-minute minor for cross-checking going against the Outlaws, and Brady Hawk is called for the violation. Five on four for the Revolution, who capitalized on our last man up about halfway through. Jeffrey Vetter sees a pass go wide. It just barely stays in play. So Johansson tracks it down. He gives to Falco, and now Falco with 2 goals on his day has the shot clock halfway expired. Falco, Vetter a shot save in front. Rebound scooped up by Caden Hawk. Hawk by the Thomas Taylor sign. To Bittenbender, and Bittenbender is across mid-floor. Tanner Mearns scoops it up for the Revolution. As turnover by the Outlaw offense will result in this fresh possession. Falco to the middle. Vetter off the iron. An inch away from a 1-goal lead, or a 1-goal deficit, but being back within 1. As Falco will take it again, try it again, another shot, and again it just missed. Hit the post and was sent wide. It's out of play and ruled off of Kieran and Clark. So it will stay with the Revolution at a fresh 30 seconds. They've had control of the ball for almost the entirety of this first minute 25 and the man up, but the clock down to 30. Vetter hoping to cash in late in the penalty. Gives to Falco. Lines and fires. Shot saved by Clark. Scoops up the rebound. The Outlaws can kill the remainder of the man down if they so choose. Pass to Poole, and Poole did not get across mid-floor in time. Revolution ball to 3-on-3, but now outnumbered going the other way. Penalty now fully expired. Back to 5-on-5 full strength as Hawk's off the bench. Both Hawk brothers now on the floor. Revolution had the penalty killed. Andrew Trainer with the pass at the top. Trainer fired wide. Rebound played off boards by Poole, who evades a man. Poole sprinting down, now in a 1-on-1. Dishes to Stainer, and he couldn't bring in the pass. Wide to Stainer and played off the glass. Revolution ball with Jaden Cox. Cox across the midline. Shuffle pass to Trainer. Falco now gets the next reception. Falco driving in, diving in front, and crease violation. The shot would have been saved regardless. And Caden Hawk now the ball. Gives it to Gonzalez, who's on the floor with it. Gonzalez, shot fired wide. So deflected and sent wide to Malessio. Winds up being stick to Johansson. The Revolution have it going the other way. Butkus. Falco by his man. Falco a shot, save again by Kieran and Clark. Rebound came set to Caden Hawk. And now the ball rolling in the far corner. Fighting for it for the Outlaws is Brady Hawk, who couldn't put it in. Now he does. Hawk gives to Bittenbender. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Stainer is just off the bench. Stainer between the circles. Thought about it, now thinks again. Shot, they score. Joe Stainer from between the circles makes it 6-3 Outlaws. And they get their first frame over 10 minutes in. Six-3 Outlaws, 3:40 to play in the second. Right off the draw is possession of the Revolution, and a quick shot on goal turned away by Clark. Andrew Trainer took the shot. Now Clark launches all the way down. He almost got it to go through. Valescu gets the loose change, takes it to the corner. Stainer fresh off the goal and fresh off the bench. In the middle, May in a shot. Save Johansson off the glove, and it's loose. Priest is back on it. Stick is loose. That was Mayan who dropped his for the Outlaws. Have quick passes in and out of the stick of the Revolution player. Violation against the Revolution. Johansson tried to pick up the ricochet off his wayward pass. Under 3 to play in the second period. 6-3 lead for the Outlaws. Downey, Malesio on a hop and sent just high over the right shoulder of Johansson. Kieran and Clark's back on it. Clark to Stainer, the shot clock with time, still 10 seconds. Stainer in front, Hulk, shot, save Johansson, and he's back on it. Downey is fighting. Caden Cox has it now on the far boards. Cox pries the stick loose, that's his own stick though. Pulls on it for the Outlaw offense. Cox back on his stick, and a pass to the middle looking for Bittenbender is sent wide. Downey's in front with him, but he couldn't bring it in. Instead, Tyler Falco's the other way for the Revolution. Falco in the near circle, between the legs, he scores! A hat trick for Tyler Falco, and it's now a 2-goal lead for the Outlaws yet again. It's 6-4. Under 90 seconds to play in the second period. Gonzalez with the ball for the Outlaw offense. Slowly making his way across mid-floor. Gonzalez winds up in the corner. Gonzalez further in, takes a hop just in front of the net, guarded by Sid Johansson. Scooped up by Downey, whips one on goal off the glass on the back of the net, and it's a shot clock violation against the Outlaws. Right as the clock strikes a minute. 55 seconds to play in the second frame. 6-4, the lead for the Outlaws. A chance for the Revolution to cut the lead in half here. Vetter, over by the Blue Cross sign in the corner. Vetter to Russell, now Falco. Falco is in the legs and deflected sent wide. Richard Nelson took the shot. Under 30 seconds to play. Shot clock no longer a factor. Downey heads at the midline. Downey, Gonzalez in the near circle. Game clock to 15. Gonzalez directing traffic. A pick step by Downey. Gonzalez a shot. Save Johansson. Johansson now launches one down the floor. 5 seconds to play in 4. And now a return of the favor by Clark. Deflected in front and sent out of play. We're through 30 minutes here. Rizzo Rink is a 6-4 lead for the Outlaws. 15 more to come. See what the Revolution can do with the opportunity. underway in the third period of play. One last chance for Revolution to get this game moving up. Maybe they'll 6-4. Both sides scoring in the last frame. Only one for the Outlaws compared to two for the Revolution. It's been a goaltender's battle. Currently in net, Matt Kuhn for the Outlaws versus Johansson, the Revolution. Gonzalez with a quick shot, saves Johansson, he kicked it out. Rebound came back to Stainer, and Stainer, awkward-looking pass, gets it to his man in Gonzalez. Now Downey will hover around the midline. Picks the ball back up after a fresh change. Downey wrapping around. Downey, a shot, he scores. A fourth goal today for the Outlaws, and it's now 7-4. 7-4 lead for the Outlaws, and a fourth goal today for George Downey. His first since a minute 22 remains in the first frame. Still an impressive night by any standard. He has the ball again right off the face-off, won by Mayen, his teammate. Downey driving in and tried to find the fifth. It was deflected and sent wide by Johansson. Rebound came back to Caden Hawk. Hawk, Downey driving in, save made by Johansson, didn't have to move much in the net. Hawks back on there around the blue line. Hawk, Stainer, jumping in front, they score! 8-4, and getting his second goal of the day is Philip Malesio, just outside the crease. Malesio joins Downey's two Outlaws with multiple goals today. It's 8-4. Off the draw is Caden Hawk, possession for the Outlaws. Hawk to Mayen. Mayen to Stainer. Stainer launches down the floor. Now Downey, further in, Downey scores again. A fifth goal for George Downey. And now three quick ones to begin this third period. And all three coming in the last 2 minutes. And a timeout called by the Revolution, who have now watched this game get further out of hand than they would have expected. In the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds of gameplay, it is a 3-0 run for the Outlaws and a 9-4 lead for Team Blue and Black. We'll take a timeout with the Revolution here at Rizzo Ring. I tried. .11:05 and ticking to play in the third period. Clock running again and a 9-4 Outlaw lead. It was just 6-4 3 minutes ago. The Outlaws are now running away with it again with a 3-goal run in a less than 2.5 minute span for the second time today. Timeout called by the Outlaws, coming right out of the Revolution. So neither side with any timeouts remaining. Still 11 minutes to play in regulation time here at Rizzo Rink in this early game. The Edge and the Beer Wolves getting ready behind me for the late game. It's Monday night doubleheader. Back underway in the third period. Neither team with any timeouts. Gonzalez by the June sign on the far boards. Gonzalez sends one in deep. May have been a shot attempt, but was sent wide to Johansson. Rebound came out back to Poole. And then Stainer with another shot on goal, sent wide. And Alessio couldn't beat the buzzer. Shot clock violation on the Outlaws. And he says on the bench he had no idea what the shot clock was at. Richard Nelson, first person touched the ball in this possession for the Revolution. Nelson in the far circle, tried to give it to Mearns, intercepted the other way. Here comes Hawk by his man. Caden Hawk, a one-hopper, and deflected wide. And the outlaw ball. It looked like Johansson got a piece of it, but maybe not. .9:45 taking to play in the third. Vetter on the far boards. Man in front of him, that's Caden Hawk trying to get by him. Vetter gets the return and sent just high of him. And Tanner Mearns chasing down the rebound. Sid Johansson tried to scoop it up, he could not. The shot clock to 2 into 1, and it will be a violation against the Revolution. Possession arrow back to the Outlaws. 9:10 to play in the third. 5-goal lead for the team in blue. Poole gives to Stainer, and Stainer tried to drive in, but couldn't find his second goal of the day. Stainer back to Poole. Now Will Mayen around the blue line. Mayen, Downey a shot, saved Johansson, rebound out to Malesio. 2 men on him, Malesio between the legs, he scores. A hat trick for Philip Malesio. And it's now 10-4 Outlaws. Brady Hawk off the draw, gives Caden Hawk. Now Mayen around the midline. Mayen trying to get by his man, now knocked down, and that's going to be a violation against Downey, as Downey laid with too much of a shove on Bailey or Hosky. A brief apology about halfway through this third period. Revolution the other way with Richard Nelson. Nelson to Butkus. Butkus with a pass out wide. Now Falco ducking and diving by his man, but pass intercepted, and back the other way comes Poole with speed and help, and Poole scores. No help needed, and it's 11-4 Outlaws as Dylan Poole gets his first goal of the day, and the Outlaws have now scored 5 straight in the game. Will Mayen off the draw, streaking in, a shot, he scores. 6 in a row for the Outlaws. As Will Mayen right off the face-off will add his second goal of the day. The Outlaws have now matched their total goals in the first and second periods in this third. They had 6 in the first 2 and 6 so far in the 8.5 minutes we have seen in this third period. They're running away with it late, as Mayan wanted to add to it but couldn't bring in the pass off the draw. So the Revolution will take it and slow it up. Poole chasing it down in the corner, lost the ball, and scooping it up is Matt Kuhn. Kuhn lofts one down. He hits up Stainer. The other way, he scores! It's a 2-goal day for Joe Stainer. 13-4 Outlaws. This has to be on the level of Bartolo Colon home run, a 2-goal day for the veteran Joe Stainer. And it's 13-4, his team in front, now 7 consecutive goals in this third frame. Jeffrey Vetter between the blue line and the midline. Vetter spins by his man. Jeffrey Vetter, a shot just pushed wide. Rebound came back out. Another shot attempt saved, lofted in the air and brought in by Matt Kuhn. Richard Nelson had a chance at the doorstep, but just couldn't put it in. Under 5 to play in this third period. The Outlaws so far cruising in the final frame. Alessio trying to get by his man. He could not. Let's see the Bittenbender. Stainer and right back to Bittenbender and right back to Stainer. Now out to Alessio, a shot saved. Johansson took a 1 hop off his legs. Now Downey's on it. Centering feed Alessio, couldn't get it to him. Stainer had a chance at it, he couldn't bring it in either. And now the Revolution the other way. Bittenbender up the floor to Downey. Downey winds up from long range and is saved by Johansson. Alessio fighting for the ball in the corner. Outgunned as 2 Revolution players are in the area. Poole thought about it, thought better of it, drops it off for Alessio. He couldn't bring it in. And he'll sub off behind the play. Shot clock halfway through, and now will reset as the Revolution are back on it with possession change. Richard Nelson on the far side of the midline. Nelson subs off, passes to Falco before he does. Falco around the blue line. Falco gives Jeffrey Vetter by his man. Vetter a shot, saved by Matt Kuhn. It was trickling on the outskirts of the crease and just pounced on before anyone scooped the rebound. .3:13 to play in the third. 13-4 Outlaws. They will cruise to victory here at Rizzo Rink tonight. Downey has it. 1 bounce pass between Stainer and Caden Hawk. It'll be Hawk picking it up. Hawk from the blue line, a 1 hop that sizzles off the glass. And all the way nearly back down to Matt Kuhn. Instead, it's a shot clock violation against the Outlaws, which would have been had it reached the goaltender. 2:45 to play in the third now. Chance again for Nelson. Nelson spins wide. In the main circle. Nelson now to the corner. Butkus driving in. A shot sent high. And the rebound off the glass is now back to Butkus on a pass. And Butkus another shot, again saved by Matt Kuhn. Rebound is kicked loose by a Hawk. And Butkus tracking down, now back on it. Nelson in the far circle. Richard Nelson, an underhand shot turned away by Kuhn. Hawk to Poole, up the floor they go. 2 minutes to play in regulation time. Poole behind the net, maybe thought about trying to go over the top of Johansson, but does not, thinks better of it. Drops it for Downey. Downey in front, shot, and rattled out, now falls in, they score. George Downey, a 6-goal night. It's now 14-4 Outlaws, a 10-goal lead. So 8 goals scored in this period between both sides, and all 8 scored by the Outlaws. They started the period up 6-4, and now a 14-4 runaway victory in the early game on this Monday night. Gonzalez with possession off the draw. His pass deflected straight down by Vetter. Up in the air, Brandon Reese had a chance at it. He couldn't bring it in. Instead, his teammate does, and the shot on goal saved by Matt Kuhn. Scooped up as Andrew Trainer got one on target. Kuhn with a pump fake and now gives to Stainer a 2-goal night of his own. Stainer passed almost everyone. The rebound came out to Bittenbender and he scores. A 15-goal performance from the Outlaw offense today, and Ian Bittenbender makes it 11 goals. Revolution will let the remainder of the clock die out. Your final score tonight from Rizzo Rink, the Outlaws 15, the Revolution 4, and that's a 45-minute regulation final. Stay tuned for the Edge and the Beer Wolves coming up next from Rizzo Rink. Hello everyone and welcome back to Rizzo Rink for Game 2 of this Monday night doubleheader. This edition between the Edge and the Beer Wolves. As we are about to get underway, a running clock will begin this first period. Clock down at 14:30, and that is where the opening whistle will sound. 30 seconds in, off the draw, Lawrence fighting for it for the Edge. Instead, scooped up by the Beer Wolves, taking it away, Robert Lohman. Lohman out across, Cole Pedroso couldn't bring it in, but he chased it down the corner. Pedroso on the near side sends one a little bit high, brought in. Frank Haney has it through the blue line. Haney dishes, gets the return feed between the circles, and now back out. Again, the return feed to Haney. Lohman in front trying to create space. Haney can't capitalize, though. Dishes it out. Pedroso once more fired a shot. It's wide, and all the way back down to the net of who I believe is the typical Beer Wolf goaltender in Toby Fedor. Going to call it Fedor for now, not wearing a typical jersey for the Beer Wolves, though. Underhand shot saved, and the shot came off the stick of Julian Friedman. Getting the starting net today for the Edge. Opposite Fedor will be number 38, Eric Young. Still contested for it. The Edge and Beer Wolves fighting for the ball in the Edge offensive zone, but taking it away are the Beer Wolves. Beer Wolf ball coming across mid-floor. Ryan Mackey now winds up in the stick of Ensley. Around the blue line, Ensley between the circles. A shot saved by Young. Reflected wide into the corner. Now played by Todd Ryan. Todd Ryan Jr. knocked down, lost the ball. It's into the corner. And 3 Beer Wolves to 1 Edge player on the ground. That's amazing for the Beer Wolves. They force a turnover in Aiden McKenna, who had a multi-goal game in his last outing. We'll give it to Winters. Winters, double pump, now driving in. Winters a shot. One hop, save off the pads of Young. Michael Wadley will have it for the Edge. Now instead, Ensley further in, looking for Mackey, lost the ball, lofted in the air, back to the Beer Wolves. Pedroso winds and fires. It's whistled wide of Young. And it'll barely stay in off the top of the glass. Ensley winds up, shot clock to 5. It will be played again off for the Beer Wolves. Shot clock to 1 at the horn, sent wide of Young. Violation on the Beer Wolves. And fresh personnel for the Edge. Kyle Burrell between the blue line and the mid line. Burrell, the return feed just outside the main circle. Burrell knocked down, maybe slipped down too. Back to his feet, creating space. Burrell a shot and scooped up in the 5-hole by Fedor. Fedor, a one-handed toss out toward Las Brigada. Las Brigada will be whistle for the violation. It seems to be Edge ball deep in their offensive zone. The officials will have a brief conference about it, though, at mid-floor. Let's see what the call is. Looks like it'll stay as it was. It's Edge ball. Quick shot, they score right off the start. And Pat Gillespie, the man wearing number 18 today, will score goal number 1 of this second game on Monday night. 1-0 Edge lead. .13 to play in the first. Edge ball, and off the draw, Chris Calhoun has it around mid-floor. Calhoun tried to find the Boyles, but Boyles have knocked him down 2 people inadvertently. Frank Haney between the circles. Haney gives Stranix. Stranix to Ensley. Ensley into the nearest circle. A one-hop shot, he scores. Mac Ensley beats Eric Young, and it's now 1-1. Off the draw, the Beer-Wolves fighting for the ball, and they will get it with Chris Lasbrigada. It's the second face-off win of the night for the Beer-Wolves. Winters subs on right off the bench for the Beer-Wolves. Now, knocking a man down was the edge defense, including Julian Friedman. The Beer-Wolves will hold possession with Winters. Nate Winters to the middle, quick shot, they score! On a hop, it's Ryan Raftery. Raftery makes it a 2-1 lead. Spearwolf ball the other way. McKenna on a one-hop shot, sent wide of Young and off the netting behind him. Out of play. Edge balls, they bring it up between the circles in their defensive zone. Kyle Burrow on the main circle. Burrow gives to the finish. The finish is shot and saved by Fedor. As his bench helps him out with locating the ball off the rebounds. Ensley taking it up for the Beer-Wolves. Ensley into the nearest circle, and the whistle will sound. Possession will stay with the Beer-Wolves. Ensley curious to what the whistle was. He'll keep it though, and now a backhand shot by McKenna is read well by Young. Young gives it in front. It's Polchini to Renard. Polchini subs off. Renard across the middle of the floor. Pass knocked down and taken away by the Beer-Wolves. Frank Haney. Haney's been involved a lot so far. Try to find Lohman. Instead it's McKenna, and McKenna scores. 3-1 Beer-Wolves. Aiden McKenna joins the party. Beer-Wolf ball off the draw with Lasbrigada going up the other way. Beer-Wolf gets knocked down behind the play. Now Wynham fired his shot with Pedroso. Turned away by the iron. Pedroso again, this one sent wide. So two quick shot attempts. Neither one falls though. Pedroso and Lawrence. Some extracurriculars behind the play. Lawrence subs off. Lasbrigada tried to get in there to break it up, which he did. Lasbrigada some solid contact. Lost his stick though, and driving him is DeFinis. DeFinis, a little bit mad about that. Maybe some aggression there showed by Julian DeFinis in the edge. Renard a shot, he scores on a hop. Curtis Renard makes it 3-2. Andrews fighting for the ball off the face-off, but instead awarded to the edge of a violation against the Beer-Wolves. DeFinis in the main circle has Andrews in front, same with Bernard. DeFinis will hold on to it though. Pivot by the finish. Now winds up and raised the pad of Fedor off the glass and all the way back down toward Young. Young couldn't scoop it. DeFinis will play it. Shot clock to 9 and to 8. DeFinis with speed. Can he do the same as Falco in the past game? DeFinis. Shot clock to 3 to 2. A man on him and no shot gets off. Julian DeFinis does some great defense and now a late shot. And we'll see if this warrants a penalty. Two-minute man down for the Edge. 4:13 to play in this first period. 3-2 lead for the Beerwolf offense. Looking to add to it as Ensley dishes out the first pass. The return feed to Ensley. Ensley has Pedroso to his left. He goes there. Now back to Ensley. Ensley winds up, shoots, and scores. Mac Ensley with his second of the day. It's 4-2. Right off the draw is briefly Beerwolf possession, and now Boyles taking it away from the Edge. Boyles couldn't bring it in. Andrews has it. Now Andrews lost it, but brought back in by Calciano and crew. A correction to James Call through the Edge. Call back to Lawrence. Lawrence around the blue line. Lawrence an underhand toss, intercepted. Back the other way comes Raftery. Lohman deflected, and it'll wind up over the head of Young behind him. Here come the Edge the other way. Cross the middle of the floor. DeFinis around the blue line. DeFinis a shot. Eaten up. Lohman got a piece of it, but it is fully blocked by Raftery. McKenna off the pass. Couldn't bring it in. And now it's high up here. DeFinis with some words. But nothing will come of it to finish. Just a little talk with Alex Pedroso. And maybe something will come of it here. So we'll have 4-on-4 as Alex Pedroso and Julian DeFinis will both get 2-minute minors for cross-checking. 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. So it'll be about 20 seconds to go in the first period when the 4-on-4 comes to an end. The Edge will have it with Kyle Burrell behind the net. Burrell up to the top. And a wind-up shot goes right into the stick of Fedor. Straight through the air, no pop needed. Mac Ensley will bring it up across the middle of the floor for the Ensley between the circles. Ensley driving in front, deflected, and it's just wide of Young. The ricochet off the boards is played, or at least attempted to be played by Calhoun. Now up the near side, Gillespie through the blue line. Gillespie stripping the ball, and now the Beerwolves the other way. Gillespie calling for a change. Calhoun comes on. McKenna a shot, and it'll be lost in the lights somewhere. Not quite sure where that one ended up, but out of play. Andrews up the floor. Final minute to play in this first period. Andrews dishes for Burrell. Burrell back to Andrews. Andrews a shot got knocked down as he took it. And ate the floor with it. Shot was saved. Ensley between the circles. Ensley a shot and a first period hat trick for Mac Ensley. 5-2 Beerwolves. stay, 4-on-4. Final 7 seconds ticking off this first period. Clean possession now by Mackey, whips one on goal, blocker down, and that'll be it. 5-2 the score after the first 15 minutes of play. 30 more to come from his rink in the late game on this Monday night. 3-goal lead, Beer Wolves over the edge. .30 minutes to play in regulation time. 15 of those to come in the second period. A 3-goal lead for the Beer Wolves. They lead at 5-2. Las Brigada whips one on goal. It's saved by Victoria Sloan. A ball loose in the crease in front of Sloan, which she will send it wide. Ryan Andrews from behind the net. Andrews up the floor. Here's the Finnis through the face-off circle. The Finnis in the middle, a shot sent wide off the pad of the door. Played by Las Brigada off the boards. Chris Las Brigada along the near circle. Las Brigada pass sent high and out of play. Run high and wide of the intended target. Philip Goldfarb, number 77 of the Beer Wolves. Now in front, Gillespie, he scores through contact. It's Pat Gillespie, second of the day. And it's now a 5-3 lead. Off the draw, ball still loose. Las Brigada is back on it. Las Brigada to Mackey further up the floor. Mackey to the middle. Raftery. Winters shot wide of Sloan and rebounds all the way back down to Winters. Winters to Rafferty. Calls for a shot. It comes and it's sent wide. May have caught the leg of Sloan. It's all the way back down behind Fedor. Shot clock violation on the Beer Wolves as the edge term the fresh 30. Burrow in front. Burrow, a shot went off the pad of somebody. Deuce in the crease, sent wide. It'll wind up in the corner, and Cole Pedroso picks it up. Pedroso to Raftery. Raftery, Mackey spins, falls, shot, scores. 6-3 Beer Wolves. And the shot comes from Nate Winters on the far side. Just under 12 minutes to play in the second period, down to 11:45 back of the draw. Shot, save, Sloan turns away last regatta, and the Edge are back on it behind the net. Andrews up the floor. Gillespie has it between the blue line and the midline. Pat Gillespie. The quick pass to Burrow. Burrow out wide. The finish blocked, and it'll go off the American flag over by the glass there in the corner. Way out of play. Edge ball. A reset shot clock as well to finish. Burrow. Shot. Score. And Kyle Burrow brings the Edge back within 2. It's 6-4. Again, the Edge can put up off the draw. Kyle Burrow, the face-off win. There's Julian Friedman. Friedman with the pass wide to Gillespie. Rebound off the boards is lost in front. Lohman fighting for it. Instead, Renard takes it away. A shot's off the iron. I thought it went in, but Renard is robbed again by the post. Friedman forced to chase it down the corner for the Edge. Up the floor he goes. Friedman, Gillespie to finish, shot wide, almost into the official. Burrow now off the leg of Fedor. Ricochet back to Renard. Now Renard lost his stick. Tried to put one on goal, but sent wide. No call for Renard's helmet coming off. Raftery by the blue line. Raftery into the corner. Last regatta whips one on goal, saved by Sloan. It went off the base of the glass, between the boards and the glass. And the Ricochet took it off 95. Calhoun couldn't bring in the pass for the Edge. Said back the other way, last regatta. Now McKenna, a shot saved by Sloan. Victoria Sloan with some good defensive plays during the second period. Keep the game at a 2-goal lead. Raftery up the floor. In the middle, Lohman calling for it. Pass sent high of him. Brought in by Haney off the glass on the hop. Haney to the middle, looking for Lohman again. It's wide of him. Another battle for the ball in the corner. It's out of play off the Edge. Beerwolf ball. And a fresh crack at it for the Beerwolf offense. They lead by 2, 6-4 with 8:35 to play in the second period. Hensley on goal, saved by Sloan. Raftery gets the rebound. Raftery out wide. And now another pass high but brought in. Frank Haney hovering around the blue line. Haney back to the middle. Raftery takes it between the circles. Now pushed out wide. Raftery shot. They score. Raftery on the assist. And the goal was scorer number 91, Cole Pedroso, with his first of the day. 7-4 Beerwolves. Battle in the main circle for the face-off. It's scooted out wide, run by the Edge. Brian Andrews has it around the blue line. Andrews to the pass, sent a little bit high of his target. It'll go off the wall behind him. And back to the Beerwolves. Last touch before it went out of play. Off the Edge. Hensley. Game halfway through, and his team up by 3. Shoots pass to Cesarone. Blaze Cesarone knocked down, fired a shot. It was saved by Sloan, who may have had it caught in their pads. Edge ball. Andrews across the midline. Now around the blue line. Andrews gets by Ansley. Along the far boards, Andrews further in, looking for defense. It's wide of him. Played off the glass by Lohman. Makes the man miss. Here come the Beer Wolves. Ensley had a chance at it, but doors quickly slammed shut by the defense of the Edge, including Max Pulcini. Now Edge ball. They wanted a penalty. Didn't get one as severe as they thought. Shot sent wide. It came off a stick of Kyle Burrow, number 21 at the Edge. Ensley chases it down for the Beer Wolf offense. Ensley around the blue line. Ensley, a pass in, shot saved, came off a stick of Haney, and now the rebound is put in. Haney took the first shot, but Aiden McKenna will get the second and more important one for the Beer Wolves. 8-4. In the main circle, the face-off is sent back for Gillespie. Las Brigada taking it away. Las Brigada shot. Sliding save Sloan. It's caught in their pads. Might have fallen loose for a second. But Gillespie will help her out, and get the ball out. Gillespie will almost had the return feed brought in. Foils will also be a potential intended target. Either one will watch the guy play behind them. Mackey in the middle. Mackey to Haney. Haney. Raftery to the middle. Shot and a big hit laid down. Tim Clark got knocked down. Took a shot that was sent wide. It's ruled a clean hit. That's the correct ruling. McKenna between the circles. McKenna. Shot. Saved by Sloan off the shoulder pad. A good save to deny Frank Haney at the doorstep. Another pass sent wide by the Beer Wolves. Fundamental mistake there as Frank Haney couldn't bring in the pass, maybe a little bit high. .4:15 and ticking. To finesse around the blue line. To finesse. The pass to the far side. Brought in by Ryan. And now to Gillespie. Now to finesse again. To finesse to the pass. Wide of everybody. Friedman tried to bring it in. And now here comes Lohman. Lohman up the floor to Ensley. Spins by a man. Shot saved by Sloan. The rebound goes into the corner by the scorer's table. Ensley takes a swing at it. And again, dishes at the corner. Lohman was the last man to touch it before timeout is called. Beer Wolves call the stoppage. And it's the first timeout of the day for either side. 3:38 to play in the second with a 8-4 lead going in the Beer Wolf favor. .335 to play in the second. 8-4 lead for the Beer Wolves coming out of their timeout. Ensley a shot. It's saved by Sloan off the shoulder pad and sent into the corner. And now stop it to play a check on Sloan. May have been caught a little bit higher than the shoulder. So Sloan will stay in the game. That's good to see. 8-4 lead for the Beer Wolves with 3:26 to play. A stopped clock, and we'll have another face-off in the middle of the floor as play was whistled dead. Lawrence has it in that main circle. Lawrence lost the ball. Ensley takes it away. Ensley whips one on goal again. Another save by Sloan. She's right on the floor. Ensley's been denied a few times by Sloan in this period. He's gotten one through. Three through in the first period, but none in the second. Andrews' shot deflected by Fedor. Save made by the Beer Wolf goaltender with under 3 to play in the second. Burrell with a pass that was looking for Friedman, in and out of his stick. Friedman lays down the boom, and now a tie up with Pedroso. Neither one will be sent off or get the penalty. Friedman jawing a little bit, extra play, but not much. Burrell, shot, he scores! I'm not sure he knew that's where it was going to go in, but it winds up going in. He just beats Fedor on the left side. Kyle Burrell finds the crack in the door and then opens it all the way. It's 8-5 as the Edge get a fifth on the day. Back-to-back goals by Kyle Burrell about 9 minutes apart. And he ends that same length scoring drought for the Edge. Beer Wolf ball back in the offensive zone. Anthony Stranix. And that pass sent high. A little high off the window over the top of the Blue Cross sign in the corner. Stranix made himself on the Beer Wolf bench. It's Edge ball the other way to Gillespie. Through the legs, he scores. Pat Gillespie has his second goal of the day, and just like that, it's 8-6, and correction, Gillespie with his third, a hat trick for the Edge. So Pat Gillespie makes it 8-6, back-to-back goals for the Edge. They are right back in this game, and still plenty of time to work with. A minute to play in the second. A hard-fought battle in the main circle. Here we go. It's now pried loose. The second time these two guys in the face-off circle have had a hard-fought contest. It's Chris Calhoun for the Edge, taking on Blaze Cicerone for the Beer Wolves. This one won by Cicerone's side. Mac Ensley directing traffic, trying to bait Andrews, doesn't take. Shot clock down to 10. 20 seconds between the shot clock and game clock. A shot, they score. Winters beats Victoria Sloan, and it's now 9-6 Beer Wolves. Final seconds of the second period will tick down. It is a 9-6 lead for the Beer Wolves. Solid period by either side. 15 minutes more to come from Rizzo Rink in the nightcap on this Monday night doubleheader in the PBLA. 9-6 lead for the Beer Wolves, though, with the Edge getting some momentum back at the end of that second period. Getting on a 2-1 run over the last 5 minutes. DeFinnis running around for the Edge. He fired a shot wide. Rebound played by Lohman off the boards. Robert Lohman back the other way. Spinning out of the man. Past the man, rather. Pause. Lohman to McKenna. McKenna to Mac Ensley. Ensley. This next pass going to Cicerone. Cicerone, an off-speed shot saved by Young. Shot clock violation against the Beer Wolves, so Edge possession. Kyle Burrell will slow the pace, wait for some help. Burrell again by the June sign. Around the man, Burrell shot, he scores! A hat trick for Kyle Burrell and 2 Edge players with 3 goals in the game. It's Gillespie and Burrell. Curtis Renard with the 7th, and it's 9-7. Andrews takes the ball around the midline. Andrews. Further in, Curtis Renard. And the ball go by him and into the corner. Beer roll ball. Ensley in the main circle. Ensley to Winters. Winters tied up. Winters is forced behind the blue line. And now an Edge player and a Beer will be subbed off. Some mutual respect shown as they're both subbed off. Michael Plastino for the Edge and Alex Pedroso for the Beer Wolves will both be directed to the sideline. So both 2-minute minors for roughing. We go to 4-on-4. A shot from Winters is deflected, save. May have found the iron as well. Fighting for the ball, Todd Ryan. Ryan with Ensley 1-on-1. Ensley tracking down the corner. Now Ensley will win that battle. Launches it up in the air. Ryan Jr. is still trying to fight for it. He cannot. It's Beer Wolf ball the other way with Winters. Winters to the middle. McKenna driving in. He scores. Aiden McKenna with a 3rd goal today. Now Ensley and McKenna both with hat tricks to the Beer Wolves. Chris Calhoun off the draw. Send the pass in deep. DeFinnis makes the catch on the recovery. DeFinnis, Gillespie, back toward Julian DeFinnis. And a 10-7 ball game. A shot sent wide. Played off the grass by the Beer Wolves before going out of play. And now kept in by Las Brigada in the near circle. Las Brigada lost track of that one. Instead, it's Mackey bringing it across the middle of the floor. Mackey out to Santo, and Santo looking for Pedroso by him. And back into the stick of Cicerone. Cicerone back in the direction of Santo, but that one's wide of Santo. Friedman. Between the circles, that got loose, lost the ball, and Friedman had to avoid Toby Fedor. And was not, and did not make contact with him. Did a good job of avoiding him. Eric Young, their Edge goaltender, will eventually play the ball off the boards. Now dishes to Renard. Renard to Burrow. Burrow, shot, save, Fedor, rebound back to Renard, who couldn't bring it in cleanly. Now he does in the corner. Took a stick up high, lost his own, and the ball stayed in it. Renard had a chance at it, but couldn't bring it in. The stay, Beer Wolf ball. Ensley again has him the outskirts of the main circle. Mac Ensley cutting back and forth. Ensley, a shot, sent wide of Sloan. Pardon me, of Young. Eric Young back in net for the edge. Another shot sent wide by Winters. Off the boards, Gillespie has it. 10-7, Beer Wolves with 9:20 on the game clock. Still time for the edge. Need to get going fast, though. But pass will end up out of play. The Beer Wolves bench was open. And the ball went through the open gap where the bench would be. So it would have stayed in play. Let's see what the ruling is here. So edge ball. Clock stops at 8:56 as the officials talked about it. Pass from DeFinis was wide of his target. And now Beer Wolf ball with Mackey between the circles. Mackey gives to Ensley. Ensley through the blue line between the circles now on the other end. Ensley a shot wide of Young. The rebound played off the boards off the back of the net. But now Andrews will be the first person to touch it on the fresh possession for the edge. Andrews up the floor. Gillespie to DeFinis. DeFinis to the middle, looking for Gillespie again, but it's wide of him. Friedman fighting for it. Now the Beer Wolves the other way. They pickpocket Friedman. Streaking in. McKenna, he scores! A 4-goal lead for the Beer Wolves, a new game high, and it's 11-7. McKenna will get his second goal of this third period. And fourth on the night. Just under halfway through this third period. A goaltender change for the edge. Victoria Sloan is back in. So Sloan and Young will both have an equal period and a half of work today. Sloan allowed 4 in her one full period thus far. So let's keep that total where it is. Pedroso hoping it changes though for the Beer Wolf offense. Pedroso to Cicerone. Cicerone between the circles. Sutter step and pressured back. Tried to give it back to Pedroso who lost it. Andrews is on it. And Andrews will drop it back in the edge slow pace. Gillespie to DeFinis. DeFinis around the blue line. DeFinis winds and fires. Shot saved. It's loose in front. Fedor trying to get on it, and he will. Fedor just barely keeps the ball from trickling into the net. Mackey will have it, slowing the pace. Under 6.5 minutes to play. Mackey further in. It's wide of his target. Ryan Raftery is crossing in front. Gillespie picked it up briefly. But it winds it back in the stick of Plastino. Michael Plastino has the ball knocked down. A one hop scooped up by Friedman. Friedman back to Burrow, who has a hat trick today. Kyle Burrow to Chris Lawrence. Lawrence to Gillespie around the blue line. Gillespie driving in, fires a shot wide. Rebound is all the way back down toward Plastino. Instead knocked down. That's by Raftery. Beer Wolf ball in the corner. 5:36 to play in the third. 11-7, the Beer Wolves lead. Mackey directing traffic. Once his fourth to even McKenna. Mackey in the main circle. Mackey for Winters. Shot clock ticking down to 2-1. Winters at the horn is on target, but just after the horn. Violation on the Beer Wolves. The Edge have a chance, but they need to score on this possession to keep it. 5 to play, down by 4, and Voiles will watch the pass go all the way by him and picked up by Mac Ensley and crew. Ensley through the circle, deflected by Sloan, and the rebound is all the way off the glass. McKenna behind the back looks sent wide. Pedroso has it in the near corner. Mackey will run in. Pedroso dishes, a shot again saved by Sloan. Deflected and left for Andrews. Andrews further up the floor. Now quick pass to Burrell, who had a chance for his fourth but didn't take it. And timeout will be called by the Beer Wolves. Their second stoppage of the day. 4:12 remains in regulation, and it's a 4-goal lead for the Beer Wolves. Four to play in a third. 4-goal lead for the Beer Wolves. Looking to put the game away here. One more goal would possibly do it. More than likely would. Shot sent wide. Winters dished it out, and it was Cicerone took the shot. Either way, it comes up empty. So stoppage of play. Clock stopped at 3:47. Timeout by the Edge. So a few seconds tick off the clock. They'll say a 4-goal lead for the Wolves. .45 to go. Edge ball. Kyle Burrell. Around the midline. Burrell. Andrews between the circles. A shot. Saved by Fedor. Loose in the outskirts of the crease. And diving down was Curtis Renard, hoping to get a chance at it. And he wins the right to possession. Renard over the head of Andrews. Now to Fidus. A shot. Saved Fedor. Andrews to track it down and play it off the boards. 3:10 on the game clock. Andrews driving in. Renard, a shot, save. Fedor, rebound back to Lohman, and the Beer Wolves are away with it. Lohman around the blue line. Pedroso. Stick check by DeFinis. Pedroso holds on. Pedroso, Mackey, and back to Pedroso. Pedroso pressured up against the boards. Max Pulcini in defensive coverage. Pedroso sends a shot wide, and he plays it off the boards. A shot clock violation against the Beer Wolves. Edge ball. Pulcini will sub off. Kyle Burrell up the floor. Burrell on 2 hops past Finis and played off the boards by Julian Friedman. Friedman wide. Burrow had a chance at it. It's all the way back down the corner off the wall. Burrow in the far corner. Burrow winds and shoots. And deflected off 95 by the foot of Friedman. 2 to go. Edge down by 4, and it looks like the Beer Wolves will take this one away. The Edge, though, can still make the scoreboard look somewhat more appealing. Pedroso has it around the blue line. Pedroso dishes, and now a deflected shot is sent high and wide of Sloan off the back netting out of play. Friedman's on it in the far circle. 90 seconds to play in regulation. Friedman behind the back, gives to Gillespie. Gillespie up the floor, and a shot saved by Fedor. A great save it was. He takes away the Finis. Finis still looking for his first of the day. He likely will not get it here with under a minute 15 to play and taking as he subs off. Ensley around the midline. Ensley in the middle. Last Brigada, high and wide of Sloan.